So I got a text from a buddy of mine, good buddy of mine, known him for probably about 10 years. Actually, it's a bunch of guys. They kind of have their own club out in Stockton. They've had a warehouse out there for, I don't know, probably 15 years. And it's just a hangout. They've had all their cars there for years. We had some cars there for a little bit. We just needed more storage. We needed more room, and they was more of like a showroom. And they would display their cars. They'd have different parties and stuff like that. But anyway, Leon, we've been friends for a long time, and he's always known that we buy the Mopars, and we're always interested in the Mopars and stuff. And he has a '68 HEMI, supposedly a one-repaint Survivor. And I know what people say about Survivor. No, it's not technically a Survivor like going to being judged because it's been painted. But the only way I can describe it is that basically, other than the paint, it's all original and it's in amazing condition. I have a hard time believing that just because I've seen so many cars and like there's always a story as to why something's changed. The interior is in mint condition, so and the '68 Chargers, man, the seats, time takes a toll on them. So I would be very shocked if it actually is a one repaint actual Survivor. Regardless, it's an amazing car. It's not my favorite color. It's yellow, which nothing against yellow for the yellow lovers out there, but it's just not one of my favorite colors. But it is a HEMI. It is supposedly a numbers match, all original one repaint Survivor. And so we've been talking about it for years, buying it, and what he wants, and what we'd be willing to pay and stuff like that. Well, last night we kind of came to an agreement on a price, and so we're headed out there now to solidify it, give him a deposit. We're not going to pick it up, not yet. We're gonna give him a significant deposit, and then come back in about 3 weeks to either pick it up. He said he'd store it for us for 3 months if we want, because they got a warehouse, a display area. But we'll probably pick it up before that. So, but anyway, so we're heading out to Stockton, see an old friend about a HEMI car, and hopefully seal a deal. One repaint Survivor, right?
It's a Survivor, man. Mini trunk, right?
On the Mopar guy, I know it's in there somewhere. The number to the motor is right back there, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to get to it.
We got to get. Yeah, you got
light.
You almost got to disassemble the whole thing.
I know. Did we take the air cleaner off last time I was here?
Yeah, we did, but you still couldn't see it.
Still couldn't see it, huh? Yeah. I was gonna bring Bill and have him bring his little video camera and stuff and stick it back there. Yeah, it's right there, on the top, right next to that oil pressure sending unit on the other side is where the number would be. You want it? So Leon, tell me about this car. Tell me where it came from. Tell me the history.
I bought it out locally.
Oh, so it's local here.
Yeah, it's local.
Do you know where it was bought new?
No, I heard it came from Colorado,
Originally, there was a lot of Mopars in Colorado.
Yeah.
So is there any cool stories about it?
I did all this last time. You couldn't see it, even if you did that.
I know. I'm gonna try it anyway. Last time I wasn't buying it. I'm buying it anyway. I just want to see if it is. You get out there. You get up there?
Yeah, I honestly, to be honest with you, I I guarantee you, since Leon's had this car, we have probably not seen more than 20 miles, maybe here, back and forth to the house a couple times. You know, because we've been here
15 years, right?
15, 16 years.
Right.
And then, yeah, I mean, I think we went through the service on it a couple times, drain fluids, oils, plugs. I think he's had it to his house a couple times, and that's it. Around the block, I think last time it was literally, I think around the block. Like literally around the block.
To get it going.
And that time it took about 5 times around the block.
Oh, sorry. No, 5 times. It was 5 times, yeah.
That's
Hey, all the work for 5 times on the block.
5 times around.
I tried to get him to take it to, I think that weekend I tried to get him to take it to the car show. He's like, for what?
Have you ever had it at a car show?
No.
So it's off the grid, pretty much.
It's never been for sale, huh?
Yeah.
It's pretty much off the grid. I mean, this car has not really been seen for
No.
at least all the time you had it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is, you know, it's a 68 HEMI Charger, you know, and
Yeah.
they're probably only, there's not too many around in Northern California. You know?
No, there was only about, between the automatics and the 4-speed, there was only around 400 made. 200, 200. More than 200, 211. Or
And what's left out of the 400?
Yeah, it's a low number regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was Chevy World, you know, it would be unobtainium level at 200 because, you know, they made a lot more of those.
You still couldn't see the numbers on
No.
It's the shield that factor, remember?
it.
You
Yeah,
had that
yeah,
shield.
that's what you found out last time.
Yeah, yeah. But I think, hey, even if it wasn't, I would still do the deal with you. So
Oh, no,
at
no,
the end
no.
of the day,
Yeah.
it was just to see if it is, but I'm ready to move
But you know,
forward.
you've seen the documentation on it and all that stuff.
I mean, I've seen the car for 10 years.
Yeah, it's,
For 8 years. How long have I known you? You've had it as long as I've known you.
yeah, it's,
I just don't want to be here when we drive off of it. I
huh?
don't want to see you crying about it.
What, when you get off on it?
No, when we drive off on it.
Oh, you're not gonna drive it, you're gonna go.
Well, drive off with it.
Oh, you know, I'll, you know, when I sold my 58 Impala, you know, back in, you know, it was, you know,
There's certain ones though that.
yeah, certain ones that are, you know.
And you've had a lot of cars. I mean, you have a lot of cars in here. You guys have gone through, you know,
Well,
over the years. You guys have probably had.
and you know what, this is, you know, and we were just talking about it earlier, you know, about, you know, where we go with this place from here. And, you know, when we started this, you know, 15 years ago, you know, everybody was 15 years younger. They, you know, we were going to car shows. I mean, we'd go up, you know, 10 deep to Reno. We'd be there for a week. It was amazing. We had a great time. Now, you know, we talk about it. It's like, it's, you know, they have no interest no more. You know, I mean, the only thing we really do is hot dogs nights, which is, you know, it's fun. You know, we go up there and, you know, take the cars, have some drinks, and do some things. But at the end of the day, it's no fun by myself. Like I tell my dad,
Yeah.
you know, well, why don't you do car shows anymore? Well, by myself. You know, I don't want to go. I don't want to do anything by myself. Hey, you want to go to the, you know, Kings game? Oh yeah, I'll go by myself and sit there by myself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You just, these guys don't want to do anything anymore. So
You want me to keep
the stories leave with the car. And
What?
he's had good stories.
No, that's a deal breaker. They're like, I'm a license plate guy. You see the license plates? So I was telling you that the other day when I was here, we have one that's a 6 HEMI 9. So you have a 6T8 HEMI, and we have a 6 HEMI 9 Texas plate that we got with a 69 HEMI Charger as well.
You know, every car show that I went to, you know, and we're talking about Mopars, you know, and they said, well, what do you got? And I said, I got a 68 HEMI Charger. He said,
No, you don't.
They said, no, you don't.
I can't tell you how many times that we've had a party here. We've done something, and Leon's always been one. Don't open my hood. I won't touch it. You know, I've opened this hood 200 times, and a lot of times when he wasn't here, so he don't even know about it. But you know,
Nephews.
You know, the guys will ask, you know, and they'll say, hey, you know, so what's the car? Oh, that's 68 HEMI, bullshit. No, I'm like, no, it's 68 HEMI. Look, I saw it walk over. Anyways, what's got a 440 in it? You know what I mean? 340. I'm like, no, it's 68. But I got to pop it. I got to show them. They're like, holy shit, you know.
No, you don't see them that often. They're
Especially this close to you.
special cars. What's
Especially
that?
this close to you.
Yeah, I mean we've bought several Hemi cars, but they're far and few between. I mean they're just not
They're
they're
not
that
not
they're
20 miles from
everywhere.
where you live.
No.
You know.
But and again, I've known this car for a long time.
If you don't want the
So-
tires and rims, you know, when you know, I'll take
Now you're trying to stick yourself back out.
No, I'll take
Hey,
them back.
he does not need them to stack in his shop.
I'll take them back if you don't
I
mind.
promise you, he doesn't need them.
No.
And I know you got a lot of Mopars, and they go right on there. You know,
Yeah. So where's the farthest you drove it since you didn't drive it that much?
I drove it
Around the corner here?
Around this was about, you know.
It's like brand new
And I
shit.
might have been lying to you when I said I thought he drove it to his house one time. But
I didn't drive it to the house. You know? No. When I bought it, I brought it right in here.
well, did you drive it from Lodi here?
No, I had trailer. I trailer.
Well, there you go.
You know, because I went
The
down.
trailer queen.
Because I went.
Meet the trailer
I went
queen.
down there by myself. I couldn't.
Yeah,
you know.
I know. I have to do it all the time with my Holo. You know, the car runs and drives, but you can't unless you have
The
somebody.
last time I drove it, remember you also brought me that '67 Mustang there. You know, the one, and then when they brought it, you know, I was driving this thing around the loop here, you know, and I would hit it, you know, at the top, you know, and he said, "Oh shit, that thing's fast."
We had I think that was, and then it was a weekend that we had Cars and Coffee, and it was pretty close. So I said, hey, you know, him and my dad was trying. I said, hey, why don't you take that thing to Cars and Coffee tomorrow? He goes, nah, and it's cleaned up, it's detailed, it's running,
It's
you know.
ready, it's running,
Yeah.
yeah.
He goes, well,
Yeah.
I'll take the Ram Charger. I'm like, stay home. Huh? I don't want to see the Ram Charger at Cars and Coffee. I want to see the HEMI there, you know, not the Ram Charger. Just
The only
stay.
thing I did is I took the
We're gonna take it to Cars and
I took
Coffee.
the
for
electronic
sure.
ignition in the distributor, you know. But
Yeah.
I still have the original one, the original point. You know?
Okay.
So.
But do you know anything about the history of the car when it was in Lodi, or the guy that owned it before you, or how long he owned it? Is there anything that documents any of that you're aware of?
When I bought it, you know, when I first seen it, you know, he had a black tarp on it, you know, in the middle of a 100-degree temperature.
Yeah.
And that's where the little bitty.
Yeah, it's got a
detail
couple.
was.
It's got a couple little spots where the tarp had sat on it.
Yeah, he told me, he said I shouldn't have had it out there with that black tarp. And he said those are just heat bubbles, you know. He said no, that. And I had two body guys look at it. They said that's all it is, just heat bubbles.
Yeah,
You know?
and it's never changed. It's been like that
Yeah.
since you got it, right? It's the same.
Yeah, no, I haven't done nothing to it. you
Yeah.
know, so.
No, it seemed when I was here, I mean, over the last 8 or 10 years, I've climbed all over it, underneath and stuff. I mean, it's a super solid car. Nothing
Well, you've been
looks
in the
it's
trunk
ever
and
been.
everything. You
Been in the trunk. We're gonna go in the trunk again for the 17th time.
You want what? Here you go.
Yeah, let's get the keys. Yeah. So this was the paperwork that it came with, and I mean, this looks original, but a lot of times they'll make stuff that looks original, but then make it look distressed. But I think this is actually the original one. There's also this that somebody must have made, but unless, you know, somebody could tell me differently on this, it looks like the original window sticker. But I'd have to double check on that. I've never seen a 68 window sticker, so to me that's pretty special if that's the original. It looks original. And then there's the original build sheet, but when I was looking at it yesterday when we were finalizing the deal, it was really faint on the numbers that are on the
This is the same car that was
on the build sheet
Everything.
itself. So, but when I put it up into the light,
In the
you
annual
could see
91, you know?
you could see some of the
This is the actual
numbers in
car.
here. So it does have a build sheet, has some paperwork of it being sold with other cars. When it sold, what dates, or mileage. On 3/18 of 90, it had 43,000 miles. 6/28 of 90, it had 30 or 57,000, or no, 37,000. Maybe that's the price. I don't know. But why would it go down? Maybe they sold it. Maybe that's the price. Yeah, maybe it's the price, not the miles. Oh, that is. It's the price. So in 1990, it sold for $37,500. And then, but just a few months earlier than that, it sold for $43,000. Or maybe they were watching it. Oh, I bet you that's what it was. They were watching it. It started at 43,000, went down to 37.5, and then went down to 34.5. And this was in 1990. That was a gang of money in 1990. I mean, you couldn't quite buy a house, but it was a chunk. So just some other Colorado. Oh, here's the Colorado stuff. So you're right, it did come from Colorado. Stephen Herbert in Grand Junction, Colorado.
Yeah.
That's where Kent's from.
Yeah.
1987. So it was in Colorado in 1987. Hey, check this out. The plate in Colorado was HEMI 68.
No way.
Yeah, when it was in Colorado, the plate
Did you
was
know that?
HEMI 68 right there.
Listen to him.
What's that?
The license plate was HEMI 68 when it was in Colorado.
I told you it was from Colorado.
And now it's HEMI or 6T8 HEMI, but it was HEMI 68. That was the plate in Colorado. They had a
They've had it for all these
yeah,
years.
that's cool though.
How'd they get them in California?
No, that's
then?
what I'm saying. Whoever brought it to California did something similar because it's not even the same numbers.
Yeah, so yeah.
But when it was in Colorado, there's the registration in 1987, and it had the plate on there of HEMI 68 right there.
Okay, but that's different.
Yeah, it's what it was in Colorado. They were Colorado plates.
This is HEMI 168, and this is 68 HEMI.
I know, but these are California plates. Those are Colorado plates.
Yeah, I know, but
Too bad we don't have those.
it's not the same number.
It's just amazing that they had, personalized plates. That's all. That's just cool.
Yeah.
I hope this is original. It looks original, but I've never seen one, so to me, I'm not 100% sure.
Well, there's a blow up on it here.
Yeah, but they make stuff like this, and that's why, like they had that made. Somebody made that, just like this one got blown up.
Yeah.
But here's some articles that were written about it in what did we determine this was?
91.
1991? Yeah, 1991. Annual 1991.
They had a magazine.
So they had a
write-up
full
on it.
write-up on it. And these hubcaps are specific to the HEMI. They come with it. So he has those at his house. So those come with it.
He hasn't got them yet.
We haven't given him all the money yet either, though. So that's crazy. Base price was $3,400, and yours got bought for like $4,200. Pretty cool.
And you can't
Very
find
cool.
you can't find no jack. You know that.
Yeah, they're a
can't-
lot of that stuff's getting to be gold.
Yeah, you can't find those.
But if you look in here, like yeah, she's pretty. I wonder if they painted this and then redid this, or if that's the original sticker.
I don't know. That's good.
Just looks really nice to be.
Looks pretty nice to me. They did it.
Looks really nice for it to be original, but
Mhm.
the whole car's nice, You think those seats are original, Rick?
Of course. I hope so. They look like repops though.
Now you're just giving your uncle that time.
You know what I almost did since he didn't drive it, and I almost swapped it out with the green 68 because it didn't have headrest. I thought he would never notice, he's missing a headrest now,
This car's so solid. You know what's weird though? A 68 shouldn't have headrests.
So Leon tells me when we had the
There's
conversation,
only very few that has headrests.
what he told me it was an option.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't a. I'm not saying that you never say never with Mopar. I just know that they weren't plentiful, So for it to have the headrest, I mean, it's pretty decked out. Okay. You sure you want to do this deal?
Nice, huh?
Huh?
Very nice.
You sure you want to do the deal, right?
I'm ready now.
Okay.
I'm ready. I don't back. I don't back
I
up.
know you don't. I know you don't. We've done a lot of deals together.
I don't back
Here's
up.
here's the deposit.
Okay.
So we'll get the rest of it by the end of the month, like I said.
At the end of the
What
month.
you do is, just get me a wire information so I can just wire it over.
I
Or I can get you a cashier's check or whatever you want. So
Yeah.
and go down to the bank.
No, you
know.
got to the end of the month.
I know that's the crazy part. So he's had this in here, what, 10 years?
Yes.
And California ain't cheap. It's like $200 a year to register a car.
I
Like,
think
you
it
can go to other states and it's 20
Okay.
bucks your lifetime.
Keep it registered and insured, but won't drive it. I love it.
Registered, insured.
And it won't start
in this
up.
warehouse with your own personal security guard outside.
I insured in case somebody, it didn't break in and steal.
We're just giving you a bad time. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well, you've done a good job taking care of it, but then again, you didn't drive it to
Yeah,
you know,
so
wreck
it's-
it or anything.
Well, you know
Yeah,
where it's
so-
been all these years, you know. So I mean, it's not like it's you know you're buying it sight unseen. You know, you've seen it many times. You
Yeah.
know.
No, absolutely. I just wanted to show the audience that,
Yeah.
you know, how spectacular the car is. you
Fix
know.
interior, Richard.
If it is, it's some of the nicest interior I've ever seen, and I can't tell you that it's not. It actually does look original. So, I mean, I believe the story that it's 40,000 mile survivor. The carpet's original, and it doesn't even look like it's had much wear at all. Most of the center consoles are cracked in the middle right there because people will put their elbow there at some point, or they dry out and with a little elbow and it'll crack across. And so, you know, that's not been cracked. The dash doesn't have any cracks. I mean, it's really, if this is all original, which I assume it is, it's an amazing condition for being original.
I agree.
Yeah.
Keep talking, the price went up.
Damn! I already gave the deposit.
Yeah, you're done. You're done.
But yeah, no, she's this great car, solid car.
Well, you know, I always wanted you to have it anyway. You know, so I mean, we've known each other for a while. You know, so
Yeah, no,
I wanted you to
I
have
love
it.
this the first time I seen it.
I wanted you to have
I'm kind of shocked that you're letting it go though this morning, but.
Well, I think it worked out. It's gonna get a good home, and
Yeah,
it's actually gonna get
absolutely.
driven.
Yeah, we're gonna get it back
It's
on
gonna
the
get,
road.
it's gonna get driven.
HEMI Bill's gonna get this thing to fire up. We're gonna go for a ride. We'll invite you out to Cars and Coffee. We might even let you drive.
like I say, man.
I think honestly, to be honest with you, I think he was scared of it. Yeah.
Oh,
I think as a I mean, that's no difference than that GTX back there. I mean, that one's running a tight race with not being driven. I don't think that car's seen over 3,000 RPMs in its life.
That's
since
a
he's
sweet car too.
That GTX is badass.
And you can get a fender tag made for that car because the Chrysler Society, Historical Society. has
That
it.
car, so either Big Rick or Ed's are gonna buy that.
Yeah, you should get one though for that.
That's
a neat car.
been a family for a long time.
Yeah. These aren't for sale. I know these are just collecting.
Well,
And
actually,
they're selling.
to be honest
You
with
ain't
you,
selling this. You're funny. You said that. Now, I've seen some people pull out some money, and you guys backed up after saying that it's something for sale. So,
well,
my buddy Dalton's dad loved this car.
well, I tell you, it is
Gorgeous car.
definitely. We're getting close. We gotta make some moves.
Because you guys put an LS3 or LSA in this?
We put a Delmo LS3.
Okay.
So, so Delmo did the retro on it, which makes it look like it's still operating. So Holly Sniper, yeah, they do the retro on it.
So it looks original, but it's
Looks original. So we went back through it and did the LS. Did all QI1 suspension on it. Did coil over. Got rid of all the air ride that used to be in it. The big motor. Put AC in it. More driver friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been an amazing car.
Yeah, when I saw you guys, the hood was cut, the blower sat out above it.
Yeah,
it
this was,
and it was not a good driver. I mean, it was
No.
it was a showstopper, but it wasn't a
Yeah,
driver.
it was definitely fun to drive, but definitely not a daily. Right
Yeah.
now, I mean, I've driven this thing 105 degrees. I've driven it when it's cold, jumping in and out, throw the heater on, tunes on. I mean, everything's
Yeah, it's like a new
amazing.
car.
Yeah. We went through the whole thing, rewired it. Again, the AC, all the suspension, redone all the upholstery. So there wasn't nothing that we didn't touch on.
So this one might come available.
Hey, the good old Eddie Sports, hinges that fail, the $750 hinges.
I bought those and we never even actually used them on the cars. We ended up putting the originals back on.
Yeah, and we are, At this point in time, we are considering. We actually are. Yeah. We are going to sell.
Dad's on board. 'Cause I know you guys,
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is, we're to a situation now where we've got to make a decision on the shop. Whether we move, we retain, where we go from here. At the end of the day, you know, we've been doing this for 15 years. I mean, there's times that, you know, there was, you know, 15, 16 cars. But yeah, but for us to, you know, to come in and clean it, and especially as tedious as my dad is, you know, I mean, I want everything clean and everything perfect, and the guy's in here checking tire pressures and battery tender, you know, making sure everything's perfect, you know, and it does become a lot, especially when you're running a regular day-to-day business, you know, and so I think it's time to just downsize, you know, so we have to figure out, you know, and like I told him, I thought the great process would be is to list everything. I think there's 10 cars, 11 cars, list everything, and whatever 6 cars sell, then we keep the remaining 5. But then we have, you know, some, you know, have some things, but this has just been, it's just been a great car to own. I mean, we've had this for, you know, 10, 11 years. And literally get in the car, drive where we want to go. Just don't get upset when you get some bug chips or, you know.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's nothing that I worry about. Put it on the rack, go top to bottom. The bottom's just as nice as the top. This is actually a full frame car, so it's not an X-frame no more. So this was a full custom chassis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a full custom chassis that Nichols Customs built.
Okay.
So Jeff did some pretty fabulous fab work on it, and
And it's all air, or to change that?
this
It used to be air.
It used to be air.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
now
this is all coilovers.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, when he done the frame, he did a 2-inch body drop on it. So that's why we sit where we do, and then everything else underneath is tucked up. So we don't have exhaust hanging, tranny pans, oil pans. So it's been we did this kind of cool, you know, try to keep it again user friendly, because I feel selfish that when my wife can't or my kids can't get in, I got 4 women and nobody can get in the car and drive it. So you want to make it number one. What's the key thing? The car smells like exhaust. It's loud. It doesn't have heater. Doesn't have AC. So you want all those. You know, I think that's the selling point of the car. So one thing that we did do was I started running a 4-muffler system. So we're running Stainless Works mufflers and Stainless Works resonators. So it just becomes super quiet. And again, this thing hasn't even started. I don't know. Yeah. So driving it. Yeah, driving it. I mean, and it's just nice to get in. Say, you know, my daughters drive the car. Dad, what's special? Nothing. You got a key. You got, you know, headlight switch. You got everything.
Yeah, you don't even have to use air anymore.
No.
You can just drive it.
No, you're done. Yeah, it's gone. So it's
75 miles an hour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that was one of the key things, and I remember driving your
Nova?
no, the black
the black
68 was the 70
Yeah.
with the 5-speed or 6-speed, and I remember it had the 392, the HEMI in it. 392.
Oh, the black 68
Yeah.
Sinister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad taking me for a ride. I remember just going through the gears and, like, you know, you're in the fast lane, you're cruising 70. I'm like, I've never experienced that before. You know, because everything's a hot rod. You know, everything's loud and rattling and wind coming in, and you smell like exhaust. You know, and
That had a new gen, 393 Hemi.
dude, I was like, this, and that's what was kind of what we initially started with the GTX, was to do, you know, the Viper, the Hemi, blah, 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 something like that. But it was hard to walk away from that car being an original 440 car and having that motor sitting there. So it's hard to walk away from that, but still do the modern upgrades, do the AC, do the Tronic 5-speed, you know, do all the, you know,
Fuel injection.
do all the fuel injection, RMS suspension, to make sure that, you know.
And that one's almost done.
So, yeah, we're super close. We should be a couple months out. We're going to drop some more parts off tomorrow, and yeah, we're super close to having that done. But you know, but at the end of the day, you know, building an original car versus doing something like that, totally different ball.
Yeah, no.
We got this 68, this 65 done for my girls. So this is
This badass.
so this Tremec 5-speed, all Willwood brakes.
all coilover suspension. It has a 600 horse Pinella built supercharged motor in it. But it's not that fuel injection. It's not that.
Yeah.
So you get in it, and you, Leon, where are we at? Here we go. You get in it, and it's not it's loud. You get the 7580, but you don't have the AC. You don't have all the good shit. But this car was my buddy Gary Chan's, and Gary was doing some amateur street bike racing, and he was doing very great for himself. And the car came up available. I thought he'd never ever sell it, and so he ended up asking for a few bucks, and we bought it. The kids fell in love with it, so we took it. We done the upholstery.
Did it already have this in it?
That was already in it.
Because this was a factory 6-cylinder car.
Yeah.
So that's an acceptable upgrade.
Yeah. So motor was in it. Again, Bobby Pinella built the motor. Bobby, a dart block, dart heads. I just actually talked to Bobby the other day about it. And he's like, "How's the Mustang?" He goes, "Rick, that thing's bulletproof." He goes, "Take that thing to $8,000." He goes, and the car rips. It rides on rails. Fun car, but again, it's your hot rod.
Yeah.
My daughter's
different.
They're complaining. It's a cable clutch. I'm like, Dad, I need some steroids. I can't hardly push the clutch, so we're gonna swap it out to a hydraulic clutch. But no power steering.
So this one, is this the daughter's, or is this one available too?
It's a daughter's. Yeah. No, not available. Yeah.
Not available.
Yeah, not
Okay,
available.
not for sale.
Not available. But everything's got a price. Everything's got a price. We'll do a tasteful upgrade.
Hey, not to Leon up until recently.
Hey, we'll do a tasteful
There was no price
upgrade.
for that thing. What you might have seen in different types of truck shows or magazines, because I've seen it in a few different magazines.
Yeah, it's been magazines, street trucks, been to SEMA, it's been Texas. This thing's been all over the map, man.
Yeah.
It's all over the map. It's
It's different. I mean, it's just so different.
Out of all the cars I've built, this is probably the only car that I've built that has never had negative feedback.
Really?
I've never had negative feedback through all of the social media. This has been super neutral. Nichols Customs obviously built it. It's been done for 9 years, 10 years. Man, this thing's been a runner, man. Third motor.
You've driven it everywhere.
Yeah. This thing's been everywhere. My last trip was, I left here 6 o'clock in the morning. We were going to a Cars and Coffee in San Jose, and Cars and Coffee in San Jose. And my buddies they're pounding me. They're in Huracans and GT3s and a ton of exotic cars. And they're like, "Rick, bring your rat rod." I'm like, "Guys, they're like, listen, we want it. We got a spot in front of the show. You got to bring your truck." And so, okay, well, that's fine. I'm not going to trailer it. We're like, "Hey, we're going to meet in Lathrop. Meet at 6 o'clock in the morning." All right, let's do it. So I pick up my buddy Juan Reyna. We're freezing our ass off in the truck, but hey, we're gonna make it work. Gas up, and we get there, and there's probably 15, 20 cars there. "Rick, you lead the pack." I'm like, now, thank God I just ended up putting a 200 R4 in it. Monster Transmissions built it, and so I had that fourth gear. So it was fine. 456 rear end gears, 200 R4, billet 30, 500 stall converter. So, and the truck loves running 4,000 RPMs. That's its sweet spot, believe it or not. You just got to pay attention to the gas stations.
Yeah.
So I'm leading the pack. Now, I don't think they expected that we were going to do 90 to 100. But that's what we're going to. That's my cruising speed,
In this?
Oh yeah. Put your 5-4 harness on
I think I remember though you had a different transmission in it.
I had
55.
I had a 350.
Yeah.
I had a 350 in it, and I had 513s. So we went 200 R4 with 456s, and made a world of difference. And so we drove all the way to San Jose. And let me tell you what, how that 680 gets.
Man, I tell you what, we launched a few times off some of those whoops in the fast lane, man. Trucks airborne, sparks flying everywhere. I'm like, I got to see a smoke cloud behind me, you know? And nothing, man. This thing just was beautiful the whole way there. We didn't got there till 1 or 2. Came back down 680, went into Antioch, grabbed lunch, ended up getting home at 6, 7 at night at dark, you know, 4 or 5 tanks of gas, no biggie. But it's probably one of the most pleasurable cars that I've loved enjoying it. It gets tons of attention. We took it to Dino's Get Down in Scottsdale. All of a sudden, boom, big back. I'm doing 80, 90 with a ton of C10 trucks, big backfire. I mean, we literally, there was a trailer, you know, my dad was towing the trailer, we throw it in the trailer, we get to the next exit, distributor out, boom, new distributor, back on the road. I mean, and that's the lovely thing of this.
And you wouldn't think that looking at this engine.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just put these, probably a couple years ago, I put these FST billet carbs on there. Been amazing. You know, I mean.
So how long have you guys had this truck and how long has it been built and on the road?
Going on 10 years. Yeah.
It's been built and on the road?
Yeah, built and on the road.
How long did it take to build it?
A 2-year build.
2 years.
2-year build. 2-year build. It's been in two accidents.
Yeah,
So,
I remember seeing that. The nice thing about this being an accident, though, you can repair it and not know.
So we actually had Ed's daughter was here. She begging and pleading to go for a ride. I'm like, I want to go home. It's like this time. So I put her in the car, hit the on-ramp, I apex a turn, I smashed the gas, and it just starts going to the left. And when in doubt, throttle out. Well, Rick didn't throttle out because there was cars on the left of me, and that thing spun right around, went right into the ditch. $10,000 later, we were back in the mix. And then probably about
I remember hearing about it.
6 months ago, we're coming back from SAT, and fuel cells in the back, got a quick removable steering wheel. I pull the pin, and I always open up my back hatch. I pull the pin, open the hatch, fill the gas, keep the pin in my pocket. 99's got construction, Elk Grove. Hit that first bump, and I'm sitting there with the steering wheel in my hand. And I'm trying to like get it on, and there's cars behind me, and I'm like, fucking, my wife's with me. So all of a sudden, it just starts going to the right, man. I hit the wall and just ground down the wall for, you know, frickin' 40 yards, 50 yards, rocks coming in. My wife's got dust on her face. I think she was more mad that her hair got messed up and she got dust on her clothes. But it was a matter of cutting a new fender on and off. We still got some curb marks on the rim still, you know. American Racing, they're 4 or 5, 6 months to fix those, so we'll leave them alone. But that was the cool thing about it. The truck was originally all powder coated. So this is clear powder coat. So we took it off in stages. We did the cab, we did the fenders, the bed, and then we assembled everything. Now we just take it, we just have it re-cleared. So
yeah,
just have a section re-cleared. But it's been an amazing car. I mean, honestly, to be honest with you, I feel I get so much great feedback. I mean, I had it at Jeff had me take it out to Good Guys. I drove it out there to Nichols, you know, booth, and you know, because he built it. I smashed it from here, drove it all the way to Pleasanton, you know, pulled it through all the dust and the dirt, got mud on the tires, rolled it up in the grass, you know, and set it down, and just, he's like, maybe I shouldn't have had you bring it, you know, because everybody's like, what? Like, what the hell? Like, this is crazy. And still, as long as it's been out there, it's still, you know, you got to, people want to see it. You know, I feel that somebody, it would be a soul car for them, or maybe an addition to their collection.
I've never really been into the trucks as much, but so one of my buddies, Jason, is the one that actually traded this truck to you guys like 5 years ago, and I met him through that transaction. We're still friends with him.
Yeah, these are badass trucks.
Yeah, so we got this one from Jason. And the thing why we always hung on to these things is obviously, you know, there was less than 10,000 trucks made, 2004, 5, and 6. 4 and 5 were the single cabs. 6 was the quad cabs, and a few quad cabs in 05. But the standard cabs were the only ones that had Tremec 6 speeds. So it was the exact, motor combo out of the Viper. So these things were 505 horse V10s with the Tremec 5-speed, and to be low miles, It's we just thought we would keep these trucks.
How many miles does this one have on it?
This one has 50,000.
Okay.
50,000, and we don't let it sit. We do have it, serviced, even if we're obviously not doing the miles, but we have it serviced like every 6 months. I'll drive it, jump on the freeway, drive it to SAC every once in a while, put 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 miles on it. But everything works, everything sounds great. Fun trucks to drive. And then the black one, this has 28,000 miles on it. Yeah, so this has 28,000 miles on it. So this is again,
And this is an 05?
05, yeah, 105.
Yeah. That's what you're
105, 104, 28,800.
75 for both of them.
We just, we took and put some new tires on them just because, but
Are they both 05?
I believe that's an 04 and 05. This one came from Hot August Nights. We bought it at the auction.
Oh, gotcha.
Like 5 years ago.
I would say that would be the Impala and the truck, like a classiccars.com
Yeah.
run till it sells type thing. Because you're looking for that. I mean, I'm not saying there's not 100 guys that want them, but the guy that can afford it and the guy that wants that
Yeah.
car, it's not a price thing.
Well,
it's finding
I
that
think
right guy.
that's a great point, because at the end of the day, there's somebody looking for a low mile black truck.
Same thing
It's
here,
just
yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
getting it to them, and
Yeah.
getting it out there and getting and being patient too. And that's where I fall short sometimes, because I get impatient. You know what? 120 maybe, yeah. Shit, what am I gonna do with 120? That's
You
you can't do nothing with
you can't
120.
replace it. That's
You're not gonna no.
Not in today's world.
No.
All the labor, parts, everything's gone up.
I mean, the GTX is at 170 an hour. That's the hourly rate.
Some of these cars sell for a third of what they cost to build.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Say
Say it all the time. You wouldn't build a house and sell it for half price.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we definitely don't expect to get what we put into them.
No.
But close, 60,
But the thing
70%.
is we should expect to get what we put into them. I mean, you're giving your time for free.
And I think now that as long and tedious, as much time as it takes to build these, the availability of parts, I mean, there's value in that. There's not value,
It's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
That these cars sell for what they sell for, with what it costs to put them together.
Well, my K5, you've seen the silver K5, it's at my house now. But, these things are popping off at 250, 300, 350.
Because they're popular right now.
So
people pay the money because there's two guys that are just bidding it up.
And I've seen these, I've been up close and personal with these K5s. And I'm like, I know that. How did that car bring 250? My red chop that I did, the red C10 that I did.
I saw that.
Yeah, that thing was here. That was, there was a big story behind it. My buddy died. I took it. I did everything he wanted to be done. It was kind of like a memory for him. We had a car package that we wanted to buy, so we ended up, I listed it for $100,000. But you know what? I'm just going to sell. We're going to get rid of it. Too much controversy with this truck. We get rid of it for $100,000. A month later, the guy sells it for $200,000, and it allegedly went to Post Malone. So this guy does $200,000, seen it at the transmission shop, takes the car, buys it for $200,000. I'm like, and that was probably 4 years ago,
Yeah.
right at the beginning of COVID. So that to me was the beginning of when I started seeing these numbers really chip on these K5s.
This is the one-repaint, right?
This is 75 short bed fleet size, and
One-repaint.
Huh?
One-repaint?
One repaint.
Okay.
But this thing is absolutely gorgeous, man. I mean, you talk about it hasn't been started for a while, but I guarantee you can cut this thing and you can just pump the slice and it'll start right up.
These are getting more popular.
Oh, wow.
And the other thing that's cool is it's an original California truck. You can see it on the license then this one's for sale. This is Ed's though.
That's Edgeworth.
I don't know a lot about these, but he did a lot of work to her. He's got some beautiful red interior. 63 Dodge. What motor's in this?
It's got